On to Trinidad, no way.
Sweet TNT.
Yeah. I like when you sent me the article on with the thing. I was like, yeah, I remember seeing it. I didn't think about what you told me, however. So this one here, I'll just read it for those of you all who are listening. TNT's largest bank, Republic Bank Limited, RBL, last night advised its customers that it was cutting in half the maximum US dollar spending limit per billing cycle on their Republic Bank credit cards. In an email notice to its customers, which was reproduced on its website, RBL advised that the US dollar credit card limit will be reduced from $10,000 to $5,000 effective September 21st, 2023. The reason for the reduction of the US dollar credit card limit, which is, until further notice, was not provided in last night's communications. This is an issue, technology-wise, because, well, online shopping is a thing.
Yeah. And so there's another article I sent, I think, so the Minister of Finance. Yeah. So whereas RBL didn't really give a reason, he actually said, online shopping taking a lot of the
Finance Minister Colm Imbert says that he will hold discussions in the near future with central bank and blah blah, and with the demand for foreign exchange. He said he pointed to statistics that show in 2022 the sales of foreign exchange to the public in the first 8 months is 26.8% higher than the same period last year. There are several reasons which is driving this and whatnot. He said there's also been an explosion in online shopping over the last several years, which is driving up the usage of US dollar denominational credit cards as consumers take advantage of the availability of cheaper goods overseas. And this is the real issue that we have in here. The online shopping part. You personally find that like local suppliers as take out your eye when it comes to buying things down here?
Sometimes, Sometimes, so in some cases when you compare the prices to bring it down and whether it work out to be around the same or a little cheaper here, but a lot of times, there's add quite a bit of markup, and it's work out better, they're shipping it down.
There's probably like one or two times, because honestly, I ain't lying to you. My purchasing of things locally is ridiculously low for two reasons. Not because I don't want to support local, but the things that I have to buy are normally tech items. Yeah. And the variety of tech items I just get in Trinidad, so poor. You'll never get the exact thing that you want, and if anybody have it, it's probably really expensive, right? And for whatever reason, because they probably have it in stock so long, or they pay plenty of money to get it when it now come out, and now the price cheaper. So most of my tech items and things I buy online. Plus, I am 6'4", and if I need clothes, shoes, or anything like that, it's real hard for me to walk through a mall and just get turned down every single time. I feel like I'm a door-to-door salesman.
Like me,
asking.
Right? I'm not that tall, but I wear size 11, and I hardly get my size down here, like 11, not that big. Well,
my foot is size 13. I don't bother to try anymore.
Yeah.
Them just laugh at me and snicker and things sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see. I'd like to get like a football boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get my size down here at all. I literally went in tongue all the way to south looking for boots at time.
Yeah, so the foreign exchange problem is, I think, okay in my eyes from one side, from a central bank perspective, because basically every time a purchase has to take place, the bank has to pay that money in US to these international companies or brands because they're not accepting our TT. Yeah. And well, if the banks don't have US money, then it will be hard for them to do, and there will come a point where there is a priority on what US transaction is with it and others. So if the bank had to pay their web hosting in US and they don't have US to do it, then whatnot. But then you have the problem of people actually have US accounts and can't get the US because
exactly
they don't have US. That is the part I can't subscribe to.
Not even that. So I mean, like for small businesses, a lot of them, that's how they get their goods. That's how they pay for their goods. They use their credit card. So if you cut it from 10,000 to 5,000, and then Scotia one is already 3,000 a month.
Scotia 3,000, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I think FCB is a little more. I think FCB is like 8,000 or something.
6,500.
Right. So if RBL cut, and you know, Imbert already talking about, you know, shortage and whatever, and they need to talk to Central. So who knows, FCB and other banks might cut as well, RBC, you know. So, you know, and when you start to put that squeeze on the small business, you know, like, cause things will just get harder. The small, you know, for if somebody have a store custom bringing a certain amount of goods, that will reduce the goods, which will cut into the profits, and you know all that. And even so, right now as it is, right, for us tech people, we have a exemption on your online tax for computer parts and everything related to computers. Who knows that might, yeah. So who knows all the techie stuff that you like getting, you know, that the markup on that might go up.
And I don't know, like for a long time now, I've been trying to actually track down what is the economics of foreign exchange and what is the part of it that we don't get or we don't understand, right? Mm-hmm. So the economics of foreign exchange, basically, as far as I know, anybody that's listening, you could correct me because I'm not an economist, right? Is a country has to buy things from other countries, right? We predominantly get all of our stuff from the US. In order to get all this stuff from the US, you need to pay them in US. How do we get money to pay them in US? We need to have companies that operate it down here that trade in US and give us the US, because the government not going to just get US just like that unless they decide to sell something to the US that they want, which used to be oil, and the US pays us in US for us to be able to use the US to buy things that we want from them. That makes sense there?
Yeah. And I mean, so part of what Imbert was saying, you know, one side of it was, you know, the online sales that causing the shortage, but the next part is that, you know, businesses actually doing what you're saying, you know, and selling the goods and getting US, but they're not bringing the US back here. They're leaving the US in accounts outside of Trinidad, you know. So a big part of it, you say, was we call it repatriation of US back into the country.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
And like I totally understand that. Why would you bring your US back into Trinidad to have to wire it back out and pay fees, or even not have access to it right here in Trinidad? You know, keep it outside where you can just do your direct transfers to the company.
Next time people just have like London bank accounts and they have this other bank
Cayman,
and all the places. And they'll just keep the money there. So when they have to purchase things again, they'll be able to purchase it with their US, but with less taxes and less cheaper stuff, because basically Trinidad raping you when you bring US inside here.
Yeah, I seriously consider transferring my US from Trinidad into foreign US accounts, because like I have a US here, I can't get the cash. The only thing I could do with it is probably wire it to our next account, and you have to pay fees on it. Yeah. You know, so it's like, why I have this US account here?
Yeah, that's the issue. And well, as far as I know, it's come back down to oil, where we used to have a lot of foreign exchange because the oil companies used to be trading in US, and when they have to pay their taxes on the money that they get in, the government will not let them convert the US to TT. They will say, well, whatever you get paid in, we'll have to take the taxes, the 25% or the 35% tax in US, and then we would have US in the central bank, and then the banks now would be able to access the US from the central bank via their banker deal or whatever it is, and then everybody would have the ability to get US, because the economy is based around US sales. But our economy is not based around US sales anymore, because the amount of oil that we're producing is not
And you actually use our US to buy buy gas, our gas, huh?
Yeah,
Or the raw materials or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
by raw materials, yeah. And
I mean, at the end of the day, this restriction is for me and you, the middle class. I don't want to get too much into it, because
we ain't getting
because
we ain't getting to
the time, when you look on the flip side, there are a lot of new cars, high-end cars as we coming into the country.
and they ain't paying TT for it.
Yeah.
They ain't paying TT for it. I get
So me and you go to the bank and ask for a little 500 US.
yeah, cause the people that buying them cars not buying that from a TT account. They buying that from the account where the US lying down normal and nobody have any questions about it. Yeah, so the budget coming up and I'm very, very concerned about the things that they're gonna do with respect to this US drama.
When is the budget? This month or next month?
Next month, I think about the 10th or something like that, 10 to 17, somewhere around there. So
yeah. When we come offline, I'll tell you how we to get US. And it's legal. I'll tell you.
Don't start to DM him, huh? Don't ask him, how would you like to be rich?